Hello everyone, today we are introducing the screw detachable Cody Scanbody, an updated iteration based on our first generation non-detachable design. While the original design delivered reliable accuracy, this new version focuses on improving clinical flexibility and ease of use. In this video, we'll take a closer look at what has changed and how this upgrade supports a more efficient digital workflow for all X cases. Compared to the screw non-detachable Cody Scanbody kit, the screw detachable Cody Scanbodies provide more advantages. The first thing is that it is compatible with a wider range of implant brands. Another thing is it's easier to clean and disinfection because right now we can just remove the screws and clean the corners inside the main parts of the Cody Scanbodies. And it supports a more complicated cases that involves multiple different brands that belongs to different kits, and also it has a more flexible screw kit configuration that you can pick from. Okay, let's talk about a wider range of compatible brands on the list. So the screw detachable Cody Scanbody can completely replace the older version Cody Scanbody kit. The screw detachable Cody Scanbody is compatible with 26 more implant brands and 50 more type of multi-unit abutments. For example, the D48A kit covers all the current supported multi-unit abutment types, which are also included in the older version Cody Scanbody Kit A. And this is compatible implant system, the brand list for D48 Cody Scanbody kits. We have D48A kit, B kit, C kit, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and others. But now, you may have a question in your mind. What's D48? Before explaining what's D48, we have to take a closer look for the kit selection guide first. So for the D48 Cody Scanbody, take this as an example. For the kit selection guide, we have multiple different steps. For the first step, we need to confirm the information for the implant system that we are using for this case. For this case, for example, we are using Dentium implants, so we have to confirm the brand first. Then, for the multi-unit abutment type, we're using the screw abutment. For the second step, you have to check the latest released compatible list for Shiny 3D Dental Support Center to confirm the appropriate Cody Scanbody type. So always referring to our official website, Shiny 3D Dental Support, for the compatible system that we updated and after confirming the exact type for this case, we can choose from the D48-C kit because that's the kit for Dentium implant that we're using for this case. After that, we need to assemble the Cody Scanbody together, which means put the C screws into the main parts of the Cody Scanbody, as you can see from the video on this page. And after that, we can install them on the MUA of this patient and to do the scanning. And just pay attention to this slide. I have a new concept, which means I have to assemble the screws together with the main parts of the Cody Scanbody. So right now, we have two different things to talk about for this webinar. One is the screws, one is the main parts. By referring to the C kit, I'm actually referring to the screw type. So as you can see, there is a C character carved on the screw for this case. That means that's the screw for Dentium and other brands belongs to the C kit. After learning how to select the correct kit for the case that we have, now we are actually answering the question, what D48 stands for? First of all, the D48 Cody Scanbody offers the widest compatibility with implant system, or you can say MUA types, and will fully replace the old version for non-detachable kit. And you can referring to this picture on this page. We are taking D48-A kit as an example. So we have 48, the number, and also the character A in this type. First of all, for D48, it actually stands for the Scanbody type. By Scanbody type, I'm actually referring to the main parts of the Cody Scanbody on one kit. So the Scanbody type or the main parts type is D48, which means the interface diameter is 4.8 millimeter. The interface diameter, where I'm referring to the circles at the bottom area of this main parts, which is the area that will be fit on the MUA surface. So this is the interface that we are referring to. The diameter is 4.8. That's why we call it D48. So take this as an example. We have multiple other options. That's why we have this D48, which means we have other options other than D48. We have D43. You can take the D48 example. So the D43 means that the interface diameter for the main parts is 4.3 millimeter. And we have D35, which means the diameter for the interface is 3.5 millimeter. So that we have two different other options. And we also have a D48 M2. The diameter is still 4.8 millimeter for the main parts or for the scan body, but the thing is, the screw inside it is a little bit different. That's why we have a M2 at the back of behind the 48 number. So for the diameter of the D48 M2 is the same 4.8 millimeter, but the thing is the screw inside it is a little bit different. And we will have a closer look of this D48 M2 type in the following slides. So that's the main part. So that's why we have this D48 type on this page. And we also have another three different options: D48 M2, D43, D35. You can refer into the list at the bottom area of this page. So that's 48. Now we have another option here. That's A. Well, I think you're already familiar with the A type. That's the same list that we have for the old Cody Scanbody kit, or you can say non-detachable Cody Scanbody kit. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L right now, and others. So this is the type for the screws. Hence, you can see for the screw detachable Cody Scanbody kit, the screws will have the exact type showed on the surface, so you can see which kit it belongs to or which type it belongs to. For the screw on this page here, you can see we have an A on the surface, which means the type for this screw is A type. Since it's detachable, and I already mentioned we have two different parts to talk about, combine them together, we have this D48-A kit. So this is the whole logic for this webinar here, to tell you how to select the correct one for the case that you're using. You need to pay attention to the diameter of the interface of the MUAs, which means the interface diameter for the scan body type, the main parts of the Cody scan body. And you also need to pay attention to the type that you're using for the screws, the fitting screws for the MUA that you're using. Hence, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and other type to choose from. So that's the main topic for today's webinar. And with this information in mind, we need to differentiate which one is the A kit type, which one is 48 diameter range, and we have other information that we can check or confirm if that you need to purchase multiple different types that you are using for different kind of cases. So as you can see on this page, we have the third part of point 3 that identified by model number that you once they received the screw kit as a separate purchase, you can referring to the model number at the back of this kit or this box. For the model number that you can see on this page here is SH48B, which means this is the B screw that you purchased inside this box. And if it's SH48A, which means it's the 48 diameter A-type screws inside it. But how to identify the different kit types. We have multiple different options that you can choose from. Not multiple different options that you can choose from. We have two different time period for the kit that we manufactured that you have to pay attention to. The first batch is manufactured before the July 31st, 2025. That you can referring to the catalog number on the back of the box for the coated Scanbodies and also the caps, which means that if it says D48A, which means it's the Scanbody type, not Scanbody type, but the interface diameter is 4.8, and for the A type, the screws is for the A type, and the main parts is for the 48 diameter. And you can also referring to the kit or the box, that the kit box for the whole coated Scanbodies and also the caps. If the serial number is D4KBD, which means it's for 48 diameter coated Scanbody, 4.8 millimeter interface diameter coated Scanbodies. And if the kit or that you purchased is manufactured after July 31st, 2025, you can also referring to the back of this box. If the serial number says KAD4, KBD4, KGD4, and so on and so forth, this KAD4 means that is D48-A type coated Scanbody kit, and you can also referring to the serial number inside the coated Scanbody box. If it is D4KBD, which refers to D48 type coated Scanbody type, but the thing is D48 cannot tell you whether it's A type, B type, C type, or other types of the screws. It also makes sense. It's because now we are talking about the screw detachable coated Scanbody kit, which means even though you have this kit for the main parts of the coated Scanbodies, but it cannot define what kind of type of the screw, what kind of types of screws that you're using for the kit. Hence, you can only tell the Scanbody type, the type of the main parts of the coated Scanbodies from the serial number of the kit. Since we might constantly change the screw types inside it. So that's why you cannot tell the screw type, A, B, C, D, F, G, or other types by the serial number of the kit. After learning this kind of different types of parts that we can choose from the screw detachable coated Scanbody kit, now we are entering the actual configuration for the kit. We still take D48 coated Scanbody as an example. So the first step is to select the core or the main parts of the coated Scanbody kit, which means we have D48, D43, and D35, and D48 M2, these different types that we can choose from. So for this one, we're taking the D48 coated Scanbody kit as an example. So for the main parts, we are choosing the D48. So when purchasing an Elite Series scanner, for example, with the one D48 coated Scanbody included, users need to select the corresponding D48 screw type, A to L, and additional D48 coated Scanbody kit can also be purchased to expand the compatibility with more implant system. So we are choosing D48, which means that we have to choose the screws for D48 kits. So that's the first step that we need to do. And if we purchased a D48-A type kit, what's inside? Inside the kit itself, we have assembled coated Scanbodies. Assembled means that it has the main part of the coated Scanbody. It also has the D48-A screws inside it. Altogether, 9 pieces. And upgraded sterilization box with instruments. And also we have the cap Scanbodies, CS A48-A cap Scanbodies. We have 12 pieces for this kind of cap Scanbodies inside the kit. But be aware, the screws for the cap Scanbodies cannot be detached which means it cannot be removed from the main parts. So for the cap scan body, it's always follows the kit type that you choose. So it's the A type cap scan body, CS-A48-A cap scan body. The 48-A at the very end of this serial number for the cap scan bodies means the type of the cap scan body that you choose. It's 48 type -A kit for the cap scan bodies. And you can also, for the second step, you can also have some optional choices, which means you can purchase an additional screw kit, but just for the screws, not the main parts, so that you can replace for different cases that you are having an implantation cases for. For D40, you can choose D48, for example, D48-B screw kit, which means you will receive a box that has 9 separate screws inside it, 9 pieces screws inside it. Or you can purchase D48-A screw kit. It will also have 9 separate screws inside it, or other screw types. The thing is, you have to make sure the screws that you choose is for D48, so that it can fit on the main parts of the D48 Cody scan bodies. So for the D48 kit scan body, we have some notice as well. Regardless of the multi-unit abutment geometry and diameter, all implant system listed in official released compatible list will have tested and validated, ensuring that the corresponding Cody scan bodies can be installed securely and used effectively. So the first one, the users select the appropriate D48 screw kit A to L, different types, according to the implant system used for their specific needs. When switching to another implant system corresponding to a different D48 kit, please replace the D48 screws with the appropriate one, which means you have to choose the screws that's designed for D48 type as well. Different D48 screws can be mixed and used within the same case and the same arch. So even though you have A, B, C, D, E, all these kind of different types of screws, if it can be fitted for D48 scan body main parts, you can just mix and match for the same case because it's screw detachable. The second one is that the 9 Cody scan body within the same D48 kit are bound to a single unified database that must be downloaded and used as a complete set in the software. Any Cody scan body with a D48 kit must be used with other Cody scan bodies from the same kit and cannot be mixed with Cody scan bodies from other kits. If one Cody scan body is damaged or lost or needs to be replaced, the corresponding scan body database must be updated and replaced in the software accordingly. It might be a little bit confusing for now. Let's take an actual application as an example to have a better understanding of the new screw detachable Cody scan body kit. Now we are still use D48 Cody scan body as an example. So for the first case that you can see on this page, the patient has the same brand type or same MUA type for the full arch. This case is compatible with D48A Cody scan body, so we can just use D48-A Cody scan body kit for the whole arch of this patient. So use this directly. And as for the second case here, it's compatible with D48B Cody scan body. So as a dentist, I already purchased the D48A scan body kit, which means I have the whole kit for D48-A type. Now, since I have the case 2, that I need the B screws as well, so that I can purchase the D48-B screws separately, so that I can replace the screws inside the main part of the Cody scan body and install it on the MUA for the case 2. So replace the screws in the D48-A scan body and reassemble it as D48B scan body. For the whole process, I just replaced the screws inside it so that I can use the whole kit again for the second case. If there is also a certain number of such cases, it's recommended to purchase additional D48B scan body kit as well. And for the third case here, it's part of the MUAs are compatible with D48-A coding Scanbody, and 2 of them belong to another set, which is D48-C coding Scanbody. So in order to fit the kit, the 9 coding Scanbodies on this arch, I have to purchase another separate D48-C screw kit so that I can keep part of the screws belongs to the D48A type and also replace some, by some I mean 2, to the D48-C screws so that I can fit 2 D48C to the 2 different implants on this arch, and also use the D48-A type to fit it on the 5 other MUAs for this arch. So 1 arch, 2 implant systems supported. MUA types respectively compatible with D48-A and -C. D48-C coding Scanbodies. Assemble new D48-C Scanbodies, which can be installed together with the D48A Scanbody in the same arch on different MUA. So after each time different types screws are mixed and used, it's recommended to restore the code Scanbody D48-A Scanbody kit to its original assembly configuration, just in case that you might lose some of the screws during the whole replacing process, and also mix the use of different screws inside the one kit. So we recommend that you change it back to the original status after use this kit, or mix match this kit for this case. Okay, enough about the D48 type. Now we have another 3 different main parts to talk about. That is the D48M2A, D43-A, D35-A, 3 different types as well. So by D48M2, D43, and D35, as we already mentioned, these numbers are referring to the diameters of the interface of the main parts of the coding Scanbodies. So D48, D35 refer to the Scanbody interface diameters, which are 4.3 mm and 3.5 mm respectively. And another different thing about this list is that we have a D48M2, which means the M2 has the same diameter with D48, but the difference is that M2 indicates the thread diameter of the D48M2 screw is 2 mm, which means it has a different screw size compared to normal ones inside the D48 list. To expand the implant brand's compatibility of the code Scanbody, different code Scanbody specifications have been developed based on the geometry and diameter of multi-unit abutments. Smaller diameter D43 and D35 coding Scanbodies, and larger screw diameter D48M2 coding Scanbody, enabling compatibility with more implant system in the future. But right now, we only have a type for all these 3 different types of the kit selection. So we have D48M2-A kit, we have D33-A kit, we have D35-A kit. That's for now, we only have a selection for all 3, but in the future, we might add other different selections in this list, on this list as well. So you can also tell the difference by the box that it comes with. So for the screw kit packaging label, you can see we have SH, M48, M2A, M43A, M35A, which refers to different types that you choose for the screws, But also for the coding Scanbody kit label information, we have D48 M2A, D43A, D35A, and D48 A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and other types as well. So for these 3, we only have A type, so there's nothing to worry about. But for D48 normal version, we have A, B, C, D, and all other different selections. So you can also tell the different types according to the coding Scanbody kit label information. And for the kit itself, or for the serial number inside the kit, we also have M2BD, D43BD, D35BD to refer to different interface diameters options. For this page that you can see, we have 3 different options. besides the D48 option. So we altogether have 4 different main parts selection for the Cody Scanbodies. For D48, we have A, B, C, D, and all other screw types that you can choose from. But for D48 M2, D43, and D35, you have only A kit to choose. So we have D48 M2A, D43A, and D35A. And they are compatible with different brands that you can see on this page. And here is a detailed compatible list for D48M2, D43, and D35. Since we mentioned there is only a type that we can select from for these 3 different types. So for the D48M2, we have 3 different brands that are compatible with the A kit. And for D43, we also have one brand that are compatible with the A kit. And for D35, we have 3 different brands that are compatible with the A kit. For example, for D35-A kit, we have nil dent 3.5mm MUA to choose that are compatible with the 35-A kit. Okay, if you are still a little bit confusing about what I just mentioned, we can do some recap on this page. So for the screw detachable Cody Scanbody kit, we have 2 parts that we have to select from because it's screw detachable, so you can remove the screws from the main part of the Cody Scanbodies, which means we have to talk about the screws separately, and we have to talk about the Scanbody type, which means the main part separately as well. So let's take the Scanbody type, which means the main part of the Cody Scanbody, as an example. We have D48, D48M2, D43, and D35, 4 different types. By 48, 43, and 35, we are referring to the interface diameter of the main parts of the Cody Scanbody, which means it's the circle that are fitting on the MUA. So for the circle of its diameters, we have 4 different types. Inside these 4 different types, for D48 and D48M2, which means the diameter of the interface is the same, is all 4.8mm. The difference is that the screws inside D48M2, the size is different. That's why even though they're belonging to the same diameter interface, we still have to separate the D48M2 out of the D48 category. The design of the screw would be different. So for D48, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, and other type that we can choose from. For D48M2 screw, we only have A type. For D43 screw, we only have A type. For D35, we only have A type for now. It may add more types in the future, but right now, we only have A type for D48M2, D43, and D35. So that's something you can see for the first one that on this list. There is currently 4 types of screw detachable Cody Scanbodies: D48, D48M2, D43, and D35. As for the screw type, we divide it into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and all the all the alphabet words. But the thing is, right now you can only choose different type of screws for D48, which means for D48 kit you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L types that you can choose. If you are using D48M2, D43, and D35, you only have A type to choose. So there's nothing to choose from for the last 3 different types. We are talking about the D40. If we talk about the D48 type, we have A, B, C, D to choose. The only thing that we need to pay attention to is that the cap Scanbody type will follow the type that you choose for the kit of the Cody Scanbody or the screw detachable Cody Scanbody kit that you choose. If I purchase the screw detachable Cody Scanbody kit A, which means the cap Scanbody type will belong to the A type screws of the D48A. So it can fit on D48A brand list, which means it's compatible with that list. And since the screws inside the cap Scanbodies cannot be removed, so you have to make sure that you have the correct type of the cap scan bodies that you need for some immediate loading cases for the alignment. So during the assembly, the screw type must be match the Cody scan body type, which means if I have ABC 3 different type of screws, I have to make sure they're all belong to D48. For example, I may have BC screws for D48, but my A-type screws may belong to D43, which means I cannot fit the D43A screw inside the D48 scan bodies because it's not compatible. So for example, the D48 screw can only be assembled with D48 Cody scan body. Have to make sure it belongs to the same interface diameter category. Different types of D48 screws can assembled with D48 Cody scan body and mix for use within the same case, as long as the screws are belong to the same scan body type. When performing an immediate loading case, the cap scan body type must match the screw type. For example, use A48-A cap scan body with D48A screw. So the cap scan body type will follow the kit that you select for your purchase. Okay, enough about the whole explanation and selection and all these kind of stuff. This page shows how to remove the screws from the inside of the main parts of the Cody scan body, and also how to assemble a new one inside it. Just use the screwdriver to press it out from the main part of the Cody scan body, and you can replace a new one inside it, so you can fit the screws, the Cody scan bodies on different kind of MUAs that belongs to different kits. And for more detailed information, please refer to our official website, Shining 3D Dental Support, and we have more detailed information on that official website. As for cleaning and disinfection, the screw detachable Cody scan body can be easily cleaned compared to the non-detachable one, because right now you can just remove the screws from the inner side of the main parts, and sometimes when we use this Cody scan bodies for some immediate loading cases, you may have soft tissues or blood inside the inner parts of the Cody scan body, and now it can be easily cleaned because you can remove the screws inside it and clean it thoroughly. And for the disinfection and the cleaning steps, please refer to our official website. We have a separate article that shows how to do the clean and disinfection. You can also refer to the disinfection guide, comes with the box inside the Cody scan body kit cloth box. And that would be the main parts that I'm going to introduce for today's webinar for the new Cody scan body kit. I mean the screw detachable Cody scan body kit. You can mix and match. The flexibility is increased compared to the old ones, and as always, referring to the compatible list before your purchase. Make sure that you select the correct one for your case. And this is a more detailed information. Other than the brand list that you saw on the previous slides, now we have also a detailed compatible list for different brands. For example, for AB Dent, that belongs to the D48-A kit, we have multi-unit straight abutment, and we also have multi-unit angular abutment as well. So we have two different detailed types for this same brand. Another thing that you need to check is that always referring to our official website for the newest updated list, because it's super important for the case that you use. Always referring to our official website, Shining 3D Dental Support. We have an article that has the compatible list, and this would be the most frequently updated information for compatible list for the kit that we are using for ONX cases. So always referring to our website. And there are more detailed lists that I'm going to show you. Briefly, as I mentioned, always referring to our official website. Okay, that would be the end of today's webinar. Thank you for your time and hope I can see you soon.